Hello everyone, I'm Bill Hammond and I actually paid to see this. I've got the tuxedo t-shirt out of storage, which can only mean one thing. It is time for the 2023 Oscar Blitz, where I break down every single category at this year's Academy Awards. You know, because I actually watch all the nominees, something that can't be said for a good number of the real voters in this process. Yeesh. Anywho, this is the 6th year in a row that I've conducted this fun little experiment, with the bulk of the coverage coming in print on my blog, actuallypaid.com. So make sure you visit, bookmark, and subscribe to keep up with everything that's going on this award season. However, last year we tried a little diversion in introducing the video element. I was able to break down all 4 of the acting categories as well as Best Picture right here on the YouTube channel in hopes of kind of enhancing the experience. And I want to do that again. But if last year taught us anything, it's that we really can't prioritize certain categories or groups of categories over others. We saw the rock bottom of that concept at the actual ceremony itself, where 8 whole categories were relegated to a pre-show, which was both insulting to the audience and to the artists who basically were denied their moment on the big stage. Not gonna happen this time. So, with that in mind, we are still going to break down some categories this year, but they will be selected by random draw. Let's get to it. Alrighty, we've got our handy-dandy little wheel of randomness here. Now, 22 of the 23 categories are represented on this wheel. The one that is not is Best Picture because, come on, I have to. I know I said I didn't want to prioritize things, but Best Picture is the exception. It's the pinnacle of the whole ceremony. It's why we're all here. Of course, I'm going to cover that through video. No need to worry about that. However, I do have 4 other slots I can fill, and I do want that to be as random as possible. So, it could be all the acting categories again. It could be all the majors. It could be all text. Whatever the wheel lands on, that's what I'm going to cover. So here we go, 4 categories to fill, 22 on the wheel. Let's see what we got. All right, we're spinning. Ooh, hypnotic colors. And our first category is Best Actor. Okay. I did all 4 acting categories last year, so it's not like I haven't done this before. We do have a little bit of a surprise nomination in Paul Mescal for Aftersun. So, really, this could be rather interesting, especially because it's kind of a weak field in Best Actor this year, and it's also the one acting category that doesn't have anybody from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, it'll be interesting to see who stacks up against whom. I'm looking forward to it. All right, 1 down. Let's see who we got next. Let's spin this wheel again. Alrighty. And we get live action short. Yes! Oh, I'm happy on this one. The short program is my favorite aspect of all of Oscar season. The idea of going to a theater and seeing all 5 nominees in the span of an hour and a half to 2 hours, it's such a thrill because you have so many different ways of telling stories, so many different nationalities and cultures represented. It's an absolute blast, so I'm glad I get to share at least one of these categories with you guys through the video process. The shorts are being released on February 17th, so I won't be able to get to it for a few more weeks yet, but once I do, it's going to be the highlight of the season. I just know it. Okay. Next up, we have 20 categories left on the wheel, 2 more to fill. Here we go. Who's gonna be next? International feature. Okay. This is an interesting one because we kind of already know who's going to win based on the fact that the presumptive frontrunner has the 2nd most nominations of the entire field. I think it's a pretty safe guess that they're going to take this one, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were the best film. Now, when it comes to this category, as well as documentary feature and animated feature, I try to see as many of the submissions as possible, either in the raw entries like animated feature, or through the shortlists that come out in December that narrows it down to 15. By the time I'm able to break this down, I will have seen all 15 films in the international feature shortlist. So it's not so much who's going to win this one, it's do they deserve to win it? And did they even deserve to get nominated against the other 14 films? That's going to be the real conundrum, and I am definitely looking forward to breaking this down. All right, one more spot. Here we go. Okay, we're slowing down. We're slowing down. Looks like it's going to be sound. Oh, no, one last click. We are into production design for the final category of this project. Now, this is one of the interesting ones. It used to be called art design, and really it's basically about the entire look of the picture and the set designs. So this is one of the most artistic of the art categories, and there's no real set list of rules to follow when it comes to what you should pick versus what you shouldn't. I also believe this is one of the bake-off categories where the studios and the production companies basically just give voters an elaborate PowerPoint presentation to highlight what they did and get votes that way, which means you can see films that aren't necessarily of the best quality get nominated for this specific reason. So, looking at the nominees, this is one I'm actually kind of skeptical on because there are at least 3 or 4 films that didn't get nominated that I would argue should have. So it's going to be interesting to kind of take a deep dive in here and see if any of these nominees are truly worthy compared to who got left out. I think we've got a fun little set here. Alrighty, so there we go. Best Actor, Live Action Short, International Feature, Production Design. Those are the 4 categories, in addition to Best Picture, that I will be breaking down right here on the channel. For everything else, make sure you go to the blog, actuallypaid.com, to follow along with all the coverage and keep up on the release schedule. I'll have a central hub post that'll give you all the information you need. For the next week, I'm going to kind of assemble my resources, get clips, write my scripts, figure out how I'm going to approach each category, and then starting on Monday, February 6th, we'll have the very first entry in this year's Blitz right on the blog. And then later that week, on the 10th, hopefully, assuming no copyright claims, I will have the first video breakdown right here on the Actually Paid to See This YouTube channel. Join me for what is my version of March Madness. I hope you really have fun, at least as much as I do. Until then, I'm Bill Hammond. I actually paid to see this.